How's it going, guys? We're here for another Glue Guys episode. We're going to be talking about the Super Bowl, one of the biggest events in sports. We're going to do a little roundtable episode here with all the guys on their pick and the X factor for the game. So, Nate, starting with you, give us your winner, X factor, and any other quick notes that you'd like.
So if I had to pick, I'd say the Patriots. And it's not because Scotty over here is a big Patriots fan, but I just think that they've been there too many times. They honestly treat this like any other game. They play it out. There's gonna be nerves, jumpies, whatever, just like any first quarter, whatever. But I think that the Patriots are just so cool, calm, and collected, and Belichick and Brady have been there so much longer, and they're just, in terms of their experience, they're just far and wide no match for the Rams. But the Rams are very skilled. Jared Goff's he's been playing really well. I think for me, my X factor is Todd Gurley, though, with the way his role has been minimized by CJ Anderson, him being hurt, and now I think if he comes back and gets, I don't know, create 25 carries, 150, 200 yards, I think the Rams definitely have a chance. But if he's squandered, or if he's not playing up to the par, and he doesn't shut up the middle there, I don't know if CJ Anderson has that to make up for that.
Right.
And so for me, I really think, and quote me, however Todd Gurley plays depends on how the Rams will do. So that's what I think.
I think that's a great analysis. I think that basically defines an X factor, so that works. Okay, Scotty, we know you're obvious bias.
No, okay, I'm going to be completely objective here.
Yeah.
So I see the Patriots winning this game, but I want to say two things. I think the Super Bowl comes down to one, belief, which team believes they're going to win more, and two, just random fluke plays that can cause either the game to shift in either bounce. So I'll give you an example. Atlanta and New England. Atlanta, more talented team, but I don't think they believe they could beat the Patriots. The Patriots won that game. But when both teams believe equally that they can win the game, so for example, the Seahawks and the Patriots, they both believe they could win that game. It came down to a last-second crazy play against Malcolm Butler. This instance, I think it's the first part. I don't think the Rams, in their heart, believe that they're ready to beat this Patriots team. And I won't go into the details. I think the Rams are extremely talented. I think the key X factor to this game will be the Pats' offensive line, who they've been playing outstanding. They haven't allowed Brady to get sacked once in the playoffs this season. But obviously the Rams' defensive line, including Aaron Donald, could be the best player in this game. Probably not, but Aaron Donald, Sue, and Dante Fowler, those guys, if they can control the line of scrimmage and put pressure up on Brady, then it might not be up to Jared Goff to make the big throw. So that's my X factor, but I have to say, I think the offensive line will be good enough to allow Brady to make the big throws, and Pats will keep doing what they do, baby.
Yeah.
Number 6, let's go!
So your take is basically a mixture of pedigree, but also the readiness for the game is going to determine what.
Exactly. I just think the Pats believe that this is their year, and especially coming off a Super Bowl loss, they're motivated. And Tom Brady, I think, is just on a mission. He's on a different level right now. And I think Jared Goff and the Rams are, to be honest, they're probably in awe of the guy. You're watching literal greatness in front of your eyes. Literal greatness. Potentially the greatest clutch athlete in the history of sports. One of the greatest athletes of all time. One of the greatest dynasties of all time in front of your eyes right now.
Yeah.
And they're probably in awe. And maybe they think they can compete, but deep down in the fourth quarter, I don't think they believe that they can beat the Patriots.
I think Scotty's in awe.
I think Scotty's from Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting take. What I will say quickly from a more casual perspective for those who are probably in the same boat as me. Yeah, a lot of it for me comes down to pedigree. I'm a big person in terms of pedigree, experience, stuff like that. But also readiness is a very important point that, and along with the pedigree, if they kind of get into a situation where they feel a bit kind of squeezed, that's where you're going to see the Patriots rise to another level.
Exactly.
You're going to see the difference.
Exactly.
So I think that's one thing to really look out for in the game is there might be that breaking point where the game goes from here to here. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Matt, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to throw out a number here. I go Pats 31-21 or 31-20.
31-20, okay.
That's very fair.
I think they're just too, not necessarily dominant, but as we were saying, pedigree-wise, they know what to do. They've been there how many? 8 times already. This is the 9th time. LeBron-esque, you know. Probably even better than LeBron, considering that 5-3, not 3-5. Anyways, I just think the Pats. I don't think it's gonna be close. Honestly, I think it's gonna be like at least a touchdown spread the whole game. Pats are just gonna come out. I give the Rams credit. Like that's a good team, but I just don't think they have like the intangibles, as we were saying. I think at Super Bowl it comes down to intangibles. It's not just like obviously it's gonna be two of the most highly skilled teams and most highly decorated teams in the league. It just comes down to like psyche and all those things. So I think the Pats have. I think I don't know what the stat was. It was like
36. There's
how
like
many
36
players?
Super Bowl players.
Yeah, versus
and then
like
there's like
4 or something on the Rams. I think that tells it all.
Right.
Also, Belichick, like McVay, it's a great coach. Like he's a great X and O's guy. Obviously, great mindset and everything. But I think Belichick just outcoaches him. It's gonna be like I said, 10, 11 point game.
Yeah. Do you guys have your score predictions as well?
I'd say, I think it's gonna be it's probably gonna be a shootout, but not in the sense that. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game, but I think that it's gonna be by a wide margin. I think it's gonna be like something like 35-28. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I don't think the score is going to be indicative of how much of an edge I give to the Patriots. I think that they're going to dominate the game, and they're going to be a jump ahead of the Rams every single time. And yeah, it's going to be a touchdown, but it's not going to be indicative of that.
Okay, that's fair.
I give the Rams a bit more credit. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be close going into the fourth quarter, and either Jared Goff and Todd Gurley are going to have to make a drive to win the game, or Brady's going to end up making the drive to win the game. So I have the Pats winning 27-24, something along those lines.
27-24, okay.
Yeah, I think the Rams are good. They have the talent to beat the Patriots for sure.
Yeah.
But
I kind of see the game going one of two ways. Like, I don't want this to sound obvious, but I feel like it's going to be like a 27-24 kind of score, or it's going to be like a 35 to like 17, 15. Like, it's going to be either like they're right there where they do have maybe the game of their lives to push the Patriots to, you know, have to really stretch it out, or maybe even win the game in a tight sense, or you're going to see like that one player, that one sort of instance where the Pats say like, nah, like this is a business trip. Like,
but the Pats have like never had a blowout Super Bowl, and they're never. I wish that it was, but whenever the Pats in the Super Bowl, something crazy happens. I swear to God.
Well, last game against the Chiefs, Pats were up 14-0 going to half, right? I think the Chiefs kind of showed like how good they are in coming back and making that a close game.
Yeah.
But I think if the Rams go 14-0, like I don't give them as much credit.
Yeah. That's fair.
Historically, like the Patriots have done nothing in the first quarter. They chill.
Yeah,
they don't like to throw the first. They chill out, they size the team up, and then they come in and they end up pulling it out. One question I do want to pose to you guys: do you think if the Rams win, do you think that says a lot about like player mobility and like how like I guess Philly did it and won a Super Bowl, then the Rams bought their way to a Super Bowl? Do you think that transcends just the game? Do you think that now other teams are just gonna try to buy teams and free agency is gonna be a frenzy a little bit more because of that? Like this is success formula 2 years in a row.
Yeah, I mean I would quickly say like from a general standpoint, I think even looking at the other leagues, like yes, you know, a lot of it is, you know, your own talent and stuff like that. But I think that at the end of the day, and we talk about this in other sports, you need to get people to kind of put you over the hump. And I think that's what they're kind of showing is that, you know, teams have money. I'm a big advocate for spend your money on players to make your team better. And I think that you're going to see that probably ripple through. Like, whether they win or not, I think it's going to be like, okay, maybe this is the formula. We need to go out and just get guys.
Yeah, I agree. Like, you're seeing in every sport, even MLB, like Machado and Bryce Harper haven't signed yet, but they're like, you know, maybe they're going to team up and things like that, depending on who has the most amount of money.
Right.
Yankees probably. But like you said, like NFL, it wasn't really like this until a few years ago.
Exactly.
And then, you know, the Rams, they signed Sue, they bring in Peters to leave, all these guys. And they made it to the Super Bowl. So I think it's definitely a recipe for success if you have the money. A lot of teams, even in the salary cap era, that like the owners aren't willing to like spend up to the cap and things like that. But I think if you have like a legitimate franchise, you'll see it more continuous.
Yeah, I agree. But I still think the winning formula to the NFL is a little different. I think the key is develop your offensive line with enough players from the draft to make sure your quarterback's protected, and then be lucky enough to land on a quarterback who is all-time great, I think this is the traditional formula. Do that, and then bring the supporting cast around you.
Right.
You can shortcut that formula for sure, but the key is to have protection for your quarterback no matter what. Like, especially in this day and age where quarterback is so important in this like offense-driven league, like softer pass interference rules, softer roughing the passer rules. Quarterback is key, and if you have a good quarterback, that's the foundation to start.
So you're still more in the
your franchise
traditional sense.
Like,
then.
I think. And the Rams might have found someone in Jared Goff. I just don't know if he's ready just yet in his career, but like you have to have a great quarterback first and then everything around it. So yes, you can bring in the wide receivers, like these like star wide receivers, but you need, to me, to win a Super Bowl or to be consistently great at least, you need to have a great quarterback in place.
All right, guys. Well, that was just a quick episode on our thoughts. Enjoy the game on Sunday. See you guys.